Well, here we go again. Another year, another major Power 5 head coaching job available. This year it's Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher out the door. $76 million later. Well, more than that. Yeah, but they've already paid him. But anyway, every single time one of these jobs comes open, one of these major jobs, big money jobs, big programs, what's one of the first names that comes to the forefront of the conversation? That's right, you guessed it, in this case, Dabo Swinney. I've heard his name thrown around several times, along with a lot of other coaches for the Texas A&M job. And I'll start out by saying, no, I do not think that Dabo Swinney is leaving Clemson to take the Texas A&M job. All right, so I'll get that out there. But Dabo Swinney has nobody to blame but himself for this conversation every year. And the reason is because he has a habit of every time the fans criticize a loss, or in his words, winning but not by winning enough, or whatever the case may be, he does the whole, well, if you don't like it, I'll just go somewhere else thing. So from the outside, it appears as if Dabo Swinney is looking to get out of Clemson. It's justifiable thing to think based on what he said. But just look at the situation. All right. If you remember back to 2020, I know a lot of us don't want to remember 2020 for a lot of different reasons. I know I don't. It was one of the worst years of my life, in all of our lives. And I'm not talking about my life personally. I'm just talking about the world in general. Not even football related. But anyway, if you remember back to 2020, Clemson was scheduled to play Florida State that year. They play each other every year. And it was in Tallahassee. Clemson travels down to Tallahassee. Hours before kickoff, Florida State cancels the game for health and safety reasons and whatnot. Right? I can't say too much, and I think you guys know why, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Dabo was not too happy about it, nor were a lot of people. And in an interview, a press conference following that cancellation, he sort of took a shot at Florida State, right? They've had 4 coaches in 6 years, or whatever it was, 4 coaches in 5 years. I don't take advice from Tallahassee. I trust our people here at Clemson, blah, 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 which was hilarious, by the way. But the situation at Texas A&M, outside of the giant check they could give him, not much different. How many coaches have they had in the past 10 years, right? So I guess my point here is, outside of the paycheck, which he's making a pretty good one at Clemson. Ask Tyler from Spartanburg. He'll tell you all about it. $11 million. He's got a $10 million contract. I'm sorry, what did I say? $10 million, 10-year contract. This is his second year of it. $11.5 million a year or whatever it is. Giant buyout. Also, and maybe more importantly, Dabo has carte blanche at Clemson, right? Dabo is the CEO, the president, the king, whatever word or title that you want to use to describe what Dabo is at Clemson, that's what he is. Would he have the same situation at a place like Texas A&M? No. No. Of course not. Well, Jimbo Fisher thought he had that, but here we are. Now, I will say this. The only, when I say only, I do mean the only reason why I think Dabo would even consider a job like Texas A&M at this particular time is the fact that the ACC is so poorly run that it's embarrassing. And of course, Texas A&M is in the SEC. Now, of course, we all know the rumors. I don't even know if the rumors, I don't even know how you describe it. But Clemson's leaving the ACC. Florida State's leaving the ACC. They're going to go to the SEC 2026, 2025, 2027, whatever. They're not going to be in the ACC for much longer. That's the rumors. If Dabo has some sort of inside information regarding that, that would favor him staying at Clemson. But if he feels like the Clemson's not leaving the ACC for the next 13 years, maybe that would be a reason for him to want to jump ship just to go to a better conference, a better run conference, a more profitable conference than the ACC. So that would be pretty much, in my mind, be the only reason that he would even consider it. But outside of that, I don't see a benefit to it, not for Dabo. And again, like I said, I don't think he's going anywhere. But his name comes up every single season for every major Power 5 head coaching vacancy, right? And not only in college football, we hear his name mentioned in almost every major NFL opening too. So that in itself is actually a compliment to Dabo, that his name is always mentioned in the upper echelon of candidates for major Power 5 jobs. I'm of the opinion, and again, my opinion is worth its weight in salt, right? It means nothing. Everybody has an opinion. My opinion is that Dabo Swinney's going to be at Clemson for a while. That's always been my opinion. If he does leave Clemson at some point in his career, I believe there's really one place he wants to go or would go. And that place is Alabama. For a lot of reasons. Well, the main reason is Alabama's Alabama. Dabo Swinney's from Alabama. Dabo Swinney went to Alabama. Dabo Swinney played at Alabama. Dabo Swinney coached at Alabama. He's an Alabama boy. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Well, I also don't think that Dabo Swinney is going to be the guy that follows Saban. Not next in line, but maybe further down the line. I don't know. But Dabo Swinney, look, for all of the moaning and groaning that Dabo Swinney does about the criticism at Clemson, he's got it made in the shade at Clemson. He knows it. I don't care what he says. He knows it. He's got one of the best jobs in college football. And personally, I think he's going to win a lot more. I'm not saying a lot more natties. I'm saying just a lot more in general, right where he's at. He's got everything he needs. He's in a great recruiting ground, surrounded by some of the best recruiting states in the country. Georgia, Florida, recruits nationally, can pretty much go out there and recruit and or hire some of the best coordinators and position coaches in the country because of what he's built at Clemson. And money is not an issue for Dabo. So A&M, no. Stop it. Stop. Oh, before I get off here, I heard if Michigan fires Jim Harbaugh or if Michigan retires because he's tired of getting messed with by the Big Ten and the NCAA, Dabo to Michigan. Oh, my God. No. Shit, he'd be more likely to go to A&M than he would Michigan. And he's not going to A&M. So can you imagine Dabo, country boy from Alabama, going up to Michigan? And that ice box? Boy, no. Stop it with that. That ain't happening either. So anyway, just another year, another major coaching vacancy, and another year where everybody throws Dabo Swinney's name in the mix, and another year that he'll stay at Clemson.